Coming to get you, Barbara.
My name is Shane of REM Investigations, and welcome to episode number 5 of Paranormal Possibilities. Last time we took a gander at evidence that was included in part 1 of our investigation of the Phelps Dodge Hospital. Part 1 was packed with odd experiences, and I would definitely check that out before watching this. Now, let's make our way to Ajo, Arizona to analyze what Hannah of REM Investigations, Tyler of Truth and Life Paranormal, and NEURON SPECTRE experienced that evening.
You're in here, can you say something into this device in my head? Can I hear your voice?
Who's the light?
No light.
What was that creaking noise?
Yeah.
That's been right above me.
Think there was like an attic storage or anything? It would make sense as to why these ceilings are lower. Yeah.
There's only a down button, so I don't think so. This is the top floor.
So this was on the second floor. We'd stepped into a random room. Tyler wanted to review some audio he captured on his voice recorder. And as we're kind of just standing there listening, NEURON SPECTRE is out in the hallway, and this odd tap on the light fixture happens right above his head. It's not too crazy of an occurrence, besides the fact that it seems like we capture what sounds like a knock shortly after. There is no wildlife on the second floor, or at least that we saw that night, but it could just be the metal of that light fixture being exposed to the elements.
What was that? Is that you?
Yep, that was me walking into something.
They went like, hey.
I didn't say anything.
That wasn't you?
Where are you here now?
I probably just made a noise when I walked
like
into
right
this.
here. I could have sworn I heard someone go, hey.
So initially I thought this was the sound of someone's shoe scraping on the carpet, but you can hear what everybody's footsteps sound like before the hey is actually said. It looks like we were back on the first floor, kind of just walking back to that front entrance area. And at first, Hannah thinks that the sound I heard was the bells. For some reason, there was a string of bells hung from the ceiling, and you can actually hear somebody, I think it was me, run into it right after the hey is said.
What was that? Is that you?
I think this is a pretty good EVP we captured, and I'd have to say it is paranormal activity. This is literally moments after we caught the first hay. It looks like I hung back a little bit with NEURON SPECTRE. I was trying to get some EMF readings. And you can see where Tyler is to the left of Hannah's camera. He's kind of in this other room behind a door. NEURON SPECTRE and I are down the hallway, and it sounds like we captured another hey. I think this just sounds too much like somebody actually saying hey to be Hannah's breathing, which you can also hear, unless she breathes like that, which I haven't heard yet. From what I remember, While I edited this footage, nobody was on the second floor during this bang that was captured. I mean, it sounds like a firework is going off within the hospital. We didn't drop anything that night that would make this much noise. Nothing was pushed. I don't know what it was. It's too loud for a car door, and this hospital is pretty secluded. I highly doubt it's one of our car doors being shut. It sounds like it's coming from within the building. But walking around that night, it didn't seem like anything was out of place either, so I really don't know what made this bang.
Huh?
What was that tape?
Huh?
What was that tape?
And again, we hear what sounds like hey out loud. This was in the entrance of the hospital. We were taking a little break, setting up the spirit box. This is a classic reason why I don't like using the spirit box. There's a possibility that there's a possibility that if we didn't have the spirit box running, this hey, which might have been a couple heys and then some laughing, it would have been very clear. I cleaned the audio up the best I could. The first hey is pretty audible. The second one, not so much. And then the third noise, which I thought was a laugh, it could be somebody zipping up a book bag. Kind of gives off that effect. I do know that Tyler and I both heard it, and I believe NEURON SPECTRE heard it as well. I think Hannah was too close to the speaker to actually catch it. But there hasn't been an investigation before or after this where we captured this many disembodied voices just out loud.
Ooh. You hear that?
I don't know.
Ooh. There's a weird, another male voice, sounded older.
It sounds kind of muffled, but yeah, I heard it a couple times.
But when I was walking into this room, and we go, oh.
This isn't one of the best spirit box responses that we've ever captured, but I remember that night it had like a weird feeling that came along with the response. I usually don't talk about how we're feeling in these investigations because we can't prove it. For all you know, we're making it up. But you can tell as I'm walking along, I hear this muffled response, which sounded like an older gentleman at the time, and it pretty much stops me dead in my tracks. But it was definitely an odd response from the spirit box that I think needed to be noted. Again, a downside to using the spirit box. I can't tell if this is breathing, us walking and the wind passing through the microphone, but a few of these noises do sound like whispers, and that definitely sounds like a cough from somewhere nearby. At first, Tyler's asking a question. I'm not sure what he's asking, but it does sound like a whisper. Before he talks, he says something, and then a cough, what kind of sounds like to the left of us, and then some more whispers from the same voice that was whispering at the beginning of the clip. This is probably the first phantom cough.
It's just that if a vampire had to cough, he would do it like this.
Right. And ruin their cloaks? Do
Do you have any idea how expensive wool is in Transylvania?
That we've caught on audio, but it definitely hasn't been the only one. So again, the Vivitar 360 camera that was in the second floor nursery picks up a noise and nobody is on the second floor. The second high-pitched noise, you might need to throw in some headphones to hear. It kind of sounds like a... Logically speaking, it could be a cat. I've heard cats meow pretty weirdly.
This is Jack. Voice is a little deeper than most cats.
But it's definitely the only time in the footage that this type of noise was captured.
That might have been Tyler.
So kind of similar to the clip that started this episode, it's just we capture this weird bang, and it kind of seems like it's above our heads. I thought Tyler was walking around during this SLS walkthrough with NEURON SPECTRE, but if I remember correctly, he was either at the entrance or outside during the first moments of this walkthrough. So NEURON SPECTRE and I are walking around the second level with the SLS camera, and this is the delivery room. This sits down the hall from the nursery. This grunt could be NEURON SPECTRE clearing his throat, but I don't remember him doing that at all that night. And also this grunt seems really loud, as if it's almost right behind the camera, and he was probably about 2 to 3 steps behind me. What makes it even weirder is what sounds like the whisper that occurs right after the grunt. So I'm not 100% on the grunt, but I'm pretty sure that whisper was not our footsteps.
Well, we only caught something in the lab.
So this is the second floor, and NEURON SPECTRE and I are walking down the hallway. I'm explaining to him that the only figure we've really captured so far on the SLS camera was down in the lab. Right when I finish saying that, we capture what sounds like a steel rod or something metal falling on the ground. And this hasn't happened on an investigation prior or up till now. For whatever reason, my phone just stops recording. I pan to the left where I think the noise came from, and then this large figure kind of appears on the wall. Now, when I walk around with this SLS camera that I made, the cell phone actually sits kind of in front, facing outwards of a laptop. So to have the phone stop recording, I'd have to take it out and then, tell it to stop recording. And then seconds later, it just starts recording again. I didn't know that it stopped. I can't see the phone from where it is on the laptop. I can only see the laptop screen. so I didn't even know this happened until I went to edit the footage. When 2 or 3 things line up like this, these, you know, we heard the bang, my phone shuts off, and then this figure appears, it's very hard to dismiss all of it and just chalk it up to coincidence.
Something on the ground? That's kind of weird.
With this capture, this could just be the camera glitching. It does like to map random things in the environment. It really does try to find human forms and map them out. I just thought this one was a little odd, as it seems to be laying on the ground underneath that countertop for a split second. So this could be a glitch, but at the same time, maybe not. We really appreciate you checking out this video. As always, please like this video, subscribe, and there are a few more ways you can help support the channel down below in the description. Maybe then I can quit donating my plasma. We'll see you in the next video. Stay safe. Shut up!